Hi everybody, this is Shakaya, and I'm bringing you a video that I have been wanting to do for years now, but I've been so busy, so let's get into it. I'm going to be doing my makeup, so it makes me feel a little bit better about this story. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about this little boy by the name of, we're going to say ARMB, because we don't want kids' name on the channel. We're going to be talking about him today because his story is very sad and everything that him and his family had to go through. So we're going to start off when ARMB was born, which was January the 9th, 2013. Armani was born a preemie, and he had a ileostomy the day after he was born because he had a hole in his intestines. But that didn't stop Armani from being the sweetest, smartest little boy ever anybody could have. So fast forward, his mom, who's a single mother, who had recently broke up with the father shortly after Armani was born due to relationship issues such as the father killing the mother's animals, dog and cat. Now, I do have a picture of the dog. However, I do not have a picture of the cat because the mother had went through plenty of phones. So I do not have a picture of the cat. However, the cat's name was Midnight, and she was a gray, like roan kind of cat. She was a very pretty cat. The mom worked at several jobs up until the day of Armani's birth because she had to stay in the hospital for multiple months with ARMB. So she had left her job to stay at the hospital, Children's of Pittsburgh, with the baby. Now, during that time, father was around, but he wasn't like there. The day of Armani's birth, the mother said, "Are you going to come see the baby?" He texted her and basically said, "I can't find the room, peace." And that was the text message that he had sent her. Now, sorry, my baby's here. Now, there was a couple issues with the father, even at the birth of ARMB, because he would drink. He's an alcoholic. He would drink and come to the hospital and start issues with the mother. There was a episode where the father had sexually harassed a woman in the hospital after ARMB was born. And the sheriffs had to escort him off the premises, of course. And yeah, basically, the father was a nuisance, and everybody knew it. Now, you want to know where is other family in this, right? Well, we're going to get to that point. After Armani was born, the father was totally out of the picture. The mother had to get multiple PFAs against him because of the obvious killing animals, and he was abusive mentally, not much physically because he knew that he couldn't play with the mother like that. Now the mother is black and the father is white. So fast forward 2015, mother reaches out to the grandmother. However, knowing that the grandmother was racist due to when the mother and father was together, the mother would hear, the grandmother saying disparaging things about the mother on the phone, and the father actually kind of defended the mother. He said, "Shut your effing mouth," and he would put her in her place. And the mother would correct him, saying, you shouldn't talk to your mother like that. She was totally grew up with home training. So she would correct him on that behavior. But of course, some parents, will take that from their child. So, like I said, in 2015, the mother reached out to the grandmother, despite the issue of her knowing that she's racist and she didn't like her for whatever reason when she never met her. So the mother reaches out to the grandmother, and the grandmother reaches out back. This is via mail. The grandmother was out of town with her husband in North or South Carolina, one or the other. So the mother reaches out to her and says that she would like for her to meet her grandson because, even though the father isn't there, the mother always believed in family, so she felt like the grandmother should be able to see her son. So she reached out, and the grandmother said as soon as she gets back in town that she would reach out to her, and she did. So they had met at Chuck E. Cheese in a county called Westmoreland. That's severely racist. Met at Chuck E. Cheese in Greensburg in the county of Westmoreland, and it was kind of like the first step to actually getting to know each other. And so she could see how she was. She was a single mom, had her own car, was working, and she just wanted to know, wanted Armani to know who his family was. So she then started to develop a little bit of a relationship with Mary Randolph, and it quickly turned bad. And what I mean by that is that Mary would make racist comments at the mother, saying that before she met her, she wasn't even human, and then she met her, she's actually a person. There was a time they all went on a trip together, and she said to the mother in the car that not only do black people get more time in jail, not white people, white men get more time in jail, black men do. She made this comment because the mother had a friend who she had dated off and on since she was like, I would say 16, and he had went to jail, and that was why she said what she said about that. Now, then when the mother was trying to be understanding, she was trying to be nice, so she then let ARMB hang out with the grandmother. And she would braid his hair because the mother is black, okay? The mother is black, so she would braid her son's hair. And there was another issue where the grandmother would say, I don't want my grandson wearing braids because only black kids in the ghetto look like that.
At this point, Mary,
so of course, anybody would say, well, why would you let him around, her around your son? And the mother was young. The mother was, not the type to confront somebody or, have ill feelings because she was just like a good person, I would say. Like, she didn't want to believe that Mary was racist. So with that being said, fast forward after that, issues came up to whereas, enough was enough for mom, and she totally cut off all communication. And this was amped by due to the father having great checks with working and building houses because this family has money and they owned a construction business as well as other things. So the mother knew that she wasn't getting what she, would usually get if it was true documents. Now, the mother did bring this to the grandmother's attention because there was times that the father wouldn't pay child support. And the grandmother had said, oh, well, it comes right out of his check, or I pay it and he pays me back later. So mother knew there was an issue and a problem with this story, because it's like, you can't say it comes straightly out of his check or you pay for it and he pays you back later when it would strictly come out of his paycheck. But mom didn't think that deep into it, because mom was still believing that there are people out there are honest, which would be her downfall later on. So with that being said, she then told mom September 15th of 2018 that she has filed a modification of child support. The grandma then tried to threaten her by saying, if you do this, then we're going to file for shared custody. So then at that instant, mother knew what grandma was up to. She didn't legally know what grandma was up to, but at that point she knew this whole vendetta of, oh, my grandson this, my grandson that, besides telling him that he looked like a pig and like a little girl, which is comments that she had made to the mother, saying that when she said, I didn't want him to wear braids because only black kids in the ghetto wear that, and also everybody thinks he looks like a little girl. Now, ARMB is a beautiful, handsome young man, okay, who looks just like his mother. So, of course, mother knew that, like, this is obviously a Karen, right? Because you're not going to tell me how to raise my child. So fast forward, after that, after her threatening her and just everything the mother was going through with the grandma, with the racist comments, her overstepping her boundaries, her trying to get involved with the child's schooling and all that, she said enough is enough. So then racist grandma takes the mother to court, okay? Racist grandma then files a petition in court to have shared or full legal custody of her child. It didn't go, so she chose to file a reconsideration saying that the child wasn't in school. Now here's a background to that story. Here's the background to that story. There's so much, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be there, but keep up and it'll all make sense. The reason why they filed to say that the child wasn't in school is because prior to this, after mom broke up relationship with grandma because all the racist comments and all her overstepping her boundaries and everything, which you cannot do it's called Punko rights, which is parental rights, okay? It's unconstitutional.
Forgive me.
The mother
grandmother
would then try to obtain, without any custody or anything, obtain information from the school the child was in then. Not only that, grandmother chose to harass mother by contacting the neighbors, which the mother was not friends with anymore, because the mother would have to take care of the neighbor's kids sometimes because she was overdosing off of drugs. So once mother cut off all contact with the grandma and her son, she then had the neighbors harass mother. And at that time, the neighbors would call the fire department and make false accusations of saying that the mother's house is burning, so that the fire department would come to mother's house. This instance happened 4 times. One of the time is when the fire department actually broke down mother's door. There was already issues prior to this where the neighbors was calling mother an N-word and assaulting the mother And so then when the I'm so sorry. So when the false allegation was made to the fire department that Mother's house was on fire so many times, the landlord, who Mother had issues with because they refused to fixing anything in the house, and I'll post pictures of that too, or include those in this video, had said that Mother had to leave, despite not having the right to kick Mother out because the fire department clearly saw that there was no fire. So with that being said, it was a false accusation and to try to kick Mother out. So that way, if Mary could go to court, Mary could say, oh, well, they're homeless and all that. So when they say that the child is not in school, now remember, Mom broke off the relationship with Mary on September 15th, 2018. So these incidents happened after that. So as of November 30th, Mother had moved to a different house because she was just done. She had moved to a different house. Mary's in court stating that the reason why the son should come with the racist grandma is because he's not in school. The cops are being called. CYS is involved, which the grandmother called and made multiple false allegations. And I will also include those in this video. So grandma's basically trying to create a narrative. Now, once Butler County, which is also racist, said, no, you have no right, they then said that she had the right for weekend visits. That's due to law because there wasn't a relationship developed. The mother did reach out to grandma to start a relationship after the child was over 2 years old because there was nothing. Grandma was just a racist. So now, after moving out November 30th of 2018, the son, the mother had cut off ties, obviously. So November 30th, the day that mother is moving out into a new place for her children. Now, mind you, Mother has 3 other children. So ARMB has 3 other siblings, okay? I'm sorry, 2 at that time. ARMB has 2 siblings at this time. So that day, Mary Randolph comes with a constable to Mom's house trying to get Armani. Armani says no, and basically the constable was trying to side with Mary, who's another white racist, saying that, did she tell you to say this? Did she tell you to say this? Do you want to go with her? And ARMB stood his ground and said, no, I want to stay with my mom. So after that, after the move, Mary files another petition. Now, mind you, Mother had a PFA against Mary, okay? Mary's in court saying that the child is not in school. Now, mind you, it takes 2 weeks in the state of Pennsylvania in order for all transfer of records and everything to go to a different school. I don't know how it is state by state, but in Pennsylvania, it takes at least 2 weeks. So then Mother then had to provide that the child was in school, or less Butler County would have let Mary take the child, which is against Ponca rights. Parents' rights means you have the right to privacy. You have the right to raise your child as see fit. So if you see that there's a danger to your child, nobody's allowed to tell you that you have to keep that person alive, especially if it's a third party, which is what Mary Randolph is. So with that being said, mother brought to court proof that the child was in school, and then it became once again another tale of the child's in danger. The child is in danger. Now, mother kept expressing the false allegation. She kept expressing the utmost how should I say this? The utmost issues and all the length they're trying to go to get mother's child. However, Butler, and now it's transferred after mother had obtained a PFA on Mary based off a video of Armani saying that she calls him a pig and all this, that, and the other, which witnesses were there. She obtained a PFA. And this is, hold on. This is, oh my gosh. Guys, this is, okay, so this is very hard. But after the PFA was granted, mother had to go into court again for the PFA hearing. Mother has said, because grandma claimed that ARMB lived with her, okay? Grandma claimed that ARMB lived with her in Butler. However, grandma was trying to obtain school records from Westmoreland, which is a totally different county. So right then and there tells you the contradiction and the lies already based on this case. So the courts gave a suggestion to mother. They said if you drop this PFA, then everything could be transferred to Westmoreland, and they would have to do it the right way. Because the way that Mary was trying to file it, she was trying to file it as if the father, Kevin Randolph, wanted ARMB. And we all know that's not true because he wasn't there for any of the proceedings. So we already knew that there's a conflict here. There's a third party. The father's not even involved. And the reason why the father's not involved is because he knows the mother has so much evidence against him. He would be a fool to try to proceed with this with his mother. So, leading forward, So leading forward, mother obtains a PFA against grandma with the video that Monty is basically saying that, yeah, she made racist comments to me. And he's only 5 at this time. And like I said, there's witnesses there. So with that being said, the judge told the mother that if she drops the PFA, then everything will be transferred to Westmoreland County if they did it the right way, because they saw that Mary was trying to use the father, because in a court of law, child can't go to an outside party. There's grandparents' rights is if one parent is dead or basically like don't nobody want the kid. But that's not the case in this case. So with that being said, it was transferred. Mom think, oh, this is a victory. I can keep my kids safe. We don't have to be harassed and stalked anymore. You know, everything's going to be okay. Not the case. Not the case whatsoever. It actually gets it gets worse. It gets worse. And then it gets worse. And then it gets worse. So, Mary obtains a lawyer by the name of Linda Whalen. And I'm gonna put her picture up here. We're just gonna call her Yzma because that's what she looks like. Mary obtains Yzma as her lawyer. Yzma then goes to court and files a petition. Now, mind you, when the PFA was dropped, it was dropped without prejudice, okay? And everything was to be transferred. Well, the lawyer that mom had at the time didn't vacate it, which means that if it's not vacated, like, the custody still stand, like her gets her each weekend despite having a PFA. That's how messed up Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania is. So they go to court and file a contempt on mother, saying that she hasn't seen the child, she's withholding the child from her, all these lies. So then the mother was to set up, it's called Family Wizard, which is communication through the courts. Now, here's where it starts to take a deep turn. Grandmother and lawyer appoints a guardian ad litem. You're like, oh, what's wrong with having a guardian ad litem? They're supposed to be the attorney for the child, right? Like I said, it gets worse. So this attorney, Doreen Patonic of Scottdale, PA, is appointed guardian of Armani. Okay? She's appointed guardian of Armani. Now, mind you, that she met with the mother 3 times. 3 times. The mother has showed her a video of Armani talking about Mary's trying to get him from the new school that they just currently moved to. And that, you know, the school principal was talking to him about this, and that Mary was up there. So the mother's like, whoa, because she knows what type of person grandmother is, and she knows her child is not lying, because these are people that have money and they think they can do whatever they want. And she had done that before with going to the constables to the school trying to obtain Armani, and the mother would get frequent calls from the school, to where the point as mother's lawyer had to say, if you give her this child, she's going to sue you. So this was already a reoccurring issue with the grandmother. So the mother took the video to the guardian ad litem. The guardian ad litem then tries to send that video. Tries to send that video to CYS, Child Protective Custody, via Facebook. Now, everybody knows when you make a report to anything like Child Protective Custody, you usually call, you go up there. No, she does it via Facebook, which is illegal. So after that, let's see. There's so much. After that, there is a petition filed to have mom's son removed from her care. Now, this video is that the child is talking about is that she's up at the school. His son was waking up mother 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 days a row. Mother kept telling him to go back to bed. Son was so worked up that he started puking or coughing, and it seems like he was making himself throw up. So she was like, you gotta calm down. And basically, trying to just distraught, still trying to find and get to the bottom of what's really happening. So mother then goes to the school and confronts them and videotapes that, saying, my son's telling me this. The secretary is saying, oh, that name sounds familiar, which would be Mary. And principal is acting dumb. And we'll get back to that. Fast forward into when trial comes. So son is removed May 30th, 2019 from the mother because of a video explaining the delusional and kidnapping of the child. The child was removed because they tried to blame and paint the picture that the mother was being abusive. Yeah, let that soak in. So then, with this guardian ad litem in effect, there was an issue. The mother could only have 15-minute calls with her son a day. She wasn't able to see her son for 3 months. Finally, she was able to see her son by having supervised visits with an agency. And the lady basically was communicating with the lawyers at the time and the guardian ad litem that grandmother's saying racist comments about mother. Grandma is refusing to bring the child, saying that the judge won't care that she's withholding this child from mom. And when the supervisor brings this to the guardian ad litem's attention and the lawyer, they started to attack her. So, but speaking of the guardian ad litem attacking, when the first couple initial visits with the mother had disclosed to her that, she was in therapy when she was younger, just being an honest person to give her background about the mother. And she told her that she had been in therapy with a woman named Carol Hughes. Now, after the petition with contempt over the family wizard, which was helped by the guardian ad litem. That's right, the guardian ad litem helped the mother set up the family wizard. And they filed the contempt saying that the mother didn't do the family wizard, which the guardian ad litem was there. 1 second, I'm going to edit this video and then I'll bring you the rest.